Hello and welcome back to this course on the understanding financial statements and analyzing them. Now, we have covered so far quite a lot of ground in understanding what is a 10K report, what is annual financial report, what does they contain, what are the steps in evaluating. Now, in this section, we are going to head over to an actual 10K report and try to analyze it live with you. Now, this is not a pre-analyzed version, so you may be seeing me to reread the information and try to make sense. So I will be thinking aloud loud so that you can really see how we are thinking and then learn from it. So I may have to go back and forth quite a lot, so and we try to understand the company and then be able to analyze their financial statements after we have understood about the company and their management discussion and analysis, as we have learned in the past. Now let us move over to the 10K report. So here is what you can see is a 10K report, and then you are able to see the parts that we have seen. So the company, the first step that we said in the previous section is to look at the part 1. So the part 1 is basically the business and the risk factors. So we need to first understand is the business of the company. So here you can see that the company's main business is the Apple is explaining what their business is. So the Apple is into the design, manufacture and marketing the smartphones, personal computers, tablets, wearables and accessories, and sell a variety of related services. So which we're going to be looking at what are those services. And this is a 50 the company's fiscal year is 52 or 53 week period that ends on Saturday of September. The company is in California and was established in 1977. So it's quite general information about the company. Now the next is very important to understand what are the products that a company is selling, right? So the first, you can see the information about here. The company has product of iPhone, Mac, iPad and wearables, and when they were launched and when were their recent information. So here you can say iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro were available starting October 20, and then the September 12 of Pro Max and the iPhone mini are both expected to be available in November 2020. So here is the information. Then they are running on the iOS operating system. If you are not aware of them, then the company has a line of personal computers which is called Mac or Mac OS operating system. And the last model is the 16-inch is fully Mac Pro, and the updated version are MacBook Air, 13-inch MacBook Pro and 27-inch iMac. Then they have iPads as well. Then they have wearables and home and accessories. So wearable home and accessories are Apple AirPods, Apple TV, Apple Watch, Beats. I never know about that. They have Beats. And then they have HomePod, iPod Touch, and other Apple branded and third-party accessories. So these are the information. Then they are saying that they are interacting with the Siri. During 2020 they released AirPod Pro as a company, as like a Apple Watch is the company of smartwatches based on Watch OS operating system, and is the release of Apple Watch Series 6. Okay, the company has an annual announced HomePod Mini which is expected to be available in November 2020. So what this is telling us is the company is quite innovative and also continuously launching new models, and certain new models are going to be launched in October, means their performance in the next year is going to be different. So the company, the whatever is the result of those new models, we will be able to see the impact only in the coming financial years. Then what are the services that a company is providing? So for companies providing advertising services, so third party licensing on their own advertising platform. Then they have Apple Care, means it's a fee based sub service and support the products under Apple Care brand. So they are also providing the technical support to the Apple products apart from the warranty and guarantee. Then they have cloud services to keep the content up to date on multiple Apple devices. which is pretty important to understand. Then they have gone into the digital contents that allows them to discover and download the application for digital content such as books, music, video, games, and podcast. And then the Apple TV, of course, is there. And then they have a Apple payment services, which is Apple Card. Now you can see the products lined up and the services lined up. If you compare them with the previous report, if you have been doing the analysis for quite some time or you're working for the company, then you will be able to see that how the company has grown. You don't find that information readily available. You have to do a bit of research and plot the new products and services into each year when they are launched. So you have already information about the company, because one of the objective of us is to be able to present this in annual financial reports. And to when you are presenting this to anyone, you are presenting, maybe you are a employee and you are presenting to your board, you may be a CFO, or you may be and just a general financial analyst, and you are presenting it to your clients, or you are presenting it to your, or you're preparing an analysis of the company's annual financial statements and trying to gather the and try to make a forecast, try to do a valuation of the company itself. You may have to plot these information into a graphical chart to understand when the company launched certain products and what was the impact of their launch in the past. So did they help in improving the revenues or not, right? So that will help us to understand if the new product that they are launching or new services that they have launched gonna be useful or not, and what are the revenue contributions from them. So one thing that comes in my mind immediately is, a company have so many products and services, what are the revenue proportions from these services and these products into the company's total revenue? So where I'm going to find that? I can tell you now, we're going to find them in the management discussion and analysis. However, let's wait for that part first. Now, the markets and distribution, the company is telling who are the market and distribution. There is one thing very important here, you will see, is no single customer accounted for more than 10% of net sale in 2020, 19 and 18, which is a very important information for you to take care of, that the company does not have any single customer. Because if the company has a single customer which accounts for more than 10% of the net sale, it's kind of risky, right? Because means the company is dependent on that particular company for their financial performance. So if the company's margin is, let's say, less than 10%, then it's even more important to understand who are the customers. Are they dependent on anyone? Because if they lose that customer, the company may not exist anymore. So that is pretty good information. And then they are also telling the net sales has direct and indirect distribution channels for 34 and 66%. So means the Apple is selling 34% of its products directly, and 66% means 2/3 are indirect, through maybe the stores, through maybe the telecom operators, through maybe some other ways. So they are not giving the distribution channels, but it's pretty important to understand what are their distribution channels and how much revenue they are coming. So that is happening here. Now the competition, who are their competition, so and how they are dealing with the competition. So here you can say the company itself has already said that is highly competitive and it's aggressive price competition and resulting downward pressure on the gross margin, frequent introduction of new products and services, short life cycle. So that helps to understand why the company has to launch a new model every year and update the pricing, because they are living in a very high competition. If they are not launching the new product, and the competitor is launching a new product, they may lose the market share. So that's why they have to be innovative. They have to be launching a new product every now and then you will have to see the price sensitivity on the part of customer and the business. Many of the competitors seek to compete primarily through aggressive pricing and very low cost structures by evaluating the company's products and infringing its intellectual property. So the one thing that comes in my mind immediately is that what are the litigations, what kind of copyright infringements has already been happening into the company, and what is the impact of uh, those infringement on the intellectual property of the company, how they are protecting it. So that's a very important that is very important thing to understand about the company, right? So if you want to understand about the company, then you have to move. So when you are trying to build up the question, so you can write down these questions somewhere so that you can come back to them and make sure that you have addressed all your questions. So in the analysis, you have to have a curious mindset. It's a very important aspect. Then you have companies' ability to compete depends on ensuring the continuity timely introduction of innovative new products. So here in this paragraph, the company is explaining how they are trying to compete with them. So they are saying that the competitors are trying to do the price aggressiveness, and also providing the low cost structure and copying the company's products. The company is able to compete only when they are able to ensure that there is a new innovative product now and then, and the technologies into the market space. Otherwise it's very difficult, right, to survive, because the competitors may copy their design and then they may lose their sale if they are not putting the new things. So company believe that it has design and development near the entire solution of its products, including the hardware, operating system, software application, and related services. The principal competing factors important to the company include price, product and service features, including security features, relative price and performance, and strong third-party software accessories ecosystem. So the company is trying to compete with its innovative products in third-party solution, and the offering that the company is trying to do by offering new services, related services, and try to keep the customer into their own ecosystem. So here you will see the company has focused on expanding the market opportunities for their phones, tablets and other things. Then you have to read whole through it and then say, okay, company expect the competition in the market to intensify, which is definitely there. Then there is information about the supply of the components, so how the company is getting the components. Here you can see the company is are generally available from multiple sources. Certain components are currently obtained from a single or limited sources. So you may need to know what are they and what is the impact. The company competes on various components with the other participant in the market for smartphone, personal computer, tablet and other things. Therefore, many components used by company, including those that are available from multiple sources, are at times subject to industry-wide shortage and significant commodity pricing fluctuations. So this is certain kind of risk on the supply chain side, which you have to be aware of while you are trying to understand. Now you can see if there any increase in the recent increase or recent shortage in the fluctuation of prices. So that may help you to understand why the company's gross margins are reducing, right? So that may help again if there is a disruption in the business. So it's important for users to understand, depends on the objective of the analysis. If you are trying to analyze the overall performance of the company to invest or to present to the potential investor, or you want to do a valuation of the company, you have to understand these constraints and these markets. But if you are a general pretty petty investor, which or individual investor who may not be interested in that much of details, you can just focus on the return ratios and other things, which we're gonna be covering that again. Then you have research and development, because research and development, as we have already seen during our competition and the primary market, the innovation and the research and development is very important. So the company is developing new technologies to enhance existing products and expand the range of offered through R&D, licensing of individual properties and acquisition of third-party businesses and technologies. So if Here the company is trying to explain usually that the company can buy the companies in order to boost the research and development and to develop new products and services. So sometimes when we see the acquisitions for multiple companies by the big brands, we sometimes ask why are they buying the companies, but the reason you can try to understand it here. Then you have intellectual property, how they are protecting it, and what kind of lawsuits they need to do. Then you have a seasonality. Then is it historically seasonal or not? So the company has been changing or saying already that historically experienced high net sales in the first quarter compared to the other quarters of the fiscal year due to part of seasonal holiday demand. So maybe the Christmas, the New Year. Additionally, new products and services can significantly impact the net sales, cost of sale, and operating expense. The timing of product introduction can also impact the company's net sale and to its indirect distribution channels. And these channels are filled with the new inventory following the product launch. Channel inventory of the older product is often declines as the launch of new product. Net sale can also be affected when the consumer and distributor anticipate a product introduction. Now, the company has been launching its product usually, as you have seen in the previous section, in September 2020 and November 2020. So normally when you know that the company is launching that, so in these quarters, in the third quarter of the sales, usually people tend to wait for the new model, so the sales would drop. So you can now try to imagine the company's products in the last quarter and in the first quarter of the calendar year should be strongest, because it's the time when you have a new product launch and also by the festive seasons. In the second quarter, the sales may drop, and in the third quarter the sales can drop further. So you have this the way you can look at it, because you have anticipating the new models. How much employees the company has? Now you can see the company has 147,000, and what are the annual and available information about that, right?